is the promise of decentralization, the promise of the lack of market manipulation, all the kind of things that I think people today, especially when they're watching the GameStop and day trading and kind of Wall Street bets, all that, while they're watching that play out, is the decentralization promise enough just to start pulling people in that direction? And then as more people come, we get the improvement of the design? Or do you think that it's kind of, no, the design's got to improve so that when people do look for decentralization, they can actually be onboarded and it works?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I am of the standpoint that almost no one understands what decentralization is, and it's still a buzzword. And if you were to ask the average person, even someone investing in crypto, to articulate that really clearly, that most people wouldn't be able to get past maybe a sentence or two on explaining what that is. And I think that, in my mind, I think it's right now we have, I would say, but if you look at Cash App, you look at Coinbase, I think there are great experiences for people to invest in, the kind of blue chip assets in the cryptocurrency space. So things like Bitcoin, things like Ethereum. Once you get beyond that and you get into the world of tokens, I think it is incredibly convoluted and incredibly confusing. And so in my mind, I think it's just, part of what I think is fascinating about the crypto space and why even though I admitted that I didn't fully understand it, and I admitted that there was a huge range of outcomes, some of which crypto would be a very big thing and some of which crypto would not. I still thought it made sense to place a bunch of bets in this space. And that's because it is incredibly disruptive technology that I think will define a lot of what things look like kind of 5 and 10 years from now. But part of what that means is you're working on the cutting edge. You have to have a team, have a mentality, have an approach where you're building those things for the average person. And, I would say too, just maybe to make the devil's advocate point of view, most people investing in tokens, they're not the average person, and I still think that is not where the average consumer or average investor is going to invest. But those tokens were created with the intention that the average person would be able to use it. So someone that wants to store files could choose Filecoin instead of Dropbox. And in terms of making that a reality for the average person who couldn't care less about Bitcoin or Ethereum, but is really compelled by some utility like Filecoin, making it easy for them to choose and use Filecoin over Dropbox we still have a long ways to go, to do something like that.